Yes, guys, the first pay-per-view of 2023 is upon us. UFC 283 in Brazil, headlined by Glover Teixeira and Jamal Hill for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. And we have a great main card as well. We have Figuereido Moreno for the fourth time. Can't anybody tied it yet. And then of course we have Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. Those are three big fights we're gonna cover. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the big boys, Glover Teixeira and Jamal Hill. How you have this fight going, Andrew?
Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill. I think there's gonna be a knockout for Jamal Hill. And I say that because going on his previous fights, going on his track record, he's 11-1. Glover is 33-8. And also looking at Glover's age at this point, looking at like all those factors, Jamal Hill is a young fighter. He has 3-inch reach advantage on him. He has about an inch leg advantage. Well, in terms of reach, I think it might be a knockout for Jamal Hill. Although I could still see that dog in Glover, and Glover could take him down, wrestle him, tie him out, beat him on the ground, sub him. It's like I lean more to Jamal Hill on this fight though.
Yeah, I think I think the same thing too. The only way Glover gets a path to victory is pretty much the same game plan he had against Yuri, which was heavy wrestling and grappling.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a world where that works because off the top of my head, I don't know how good of a grappler Jamal Hill is. Can't remember if he faced any good grapplers on his way up. I know he beat the guy with the big hammer tattoo on his chest. I forget his name. I know he beat Thiago Santos. Yes, he beat him in his last fight, and and in that fight, it was a main event, so he's gone. He has main event experience, but I only went 4 rounds, and he was starting to slow down in the 4th round. So maybe he doesn't have as good as a gas tank as Glover does, because Glover's gone 5 rounds multiple times. But yeah, I think if Jamal Hill's gonna win, it has to be a knockout. It has to be early. If this goes past the 3rd round, I think Glover may have it in the bag, depending on how those first 3 rounds go. But yeah, I think Jamal Hill would win this. He seems like a guy that is destined to be a champ eventually. Speaking about Jamal Hill, and yeah, like you said, Glover's getting up there in age. This could potentially be his last fight, depending on how it plays out in Brazil. Depends how that plays out. But yeah, I think Jamal Hill does have this in the bag. Although it would set up a nice rematch if Glover wins, for him to rematch Yuri in my fight of the year last year between him and Yuri. So that could be interesting. But I think there's only one guy that's gonna win. I think that's Jamal Hill.
That's a true. It's all extra knowledge. Glover has 2 takedowns average per 15 minutes. His takedown accuracy is 37%, and Jamal Hill actually has a higher takedown defense than him, about 65%, Glover on 60%. This is stats from UFC sites as well. So, no question about the accuracy.
Yeah.
And just some extra stats there, but like you said, I think the length of the fight will play a part in how it goes, but I'm leaning more towards Jamal Hill with this fight.
And we'll just some extra bit of knowledge. I believe this is the first time in UFC history where the same title will be on the line for back-to-back pay-per-views after the lackluster UFC 282 result. But yeah, let's not talk about that. But yeah, I would really like to, if I had to be honest, I'm expecting Yuri to return and challenge whoever wins this fight. I would much rather see him fight Glover than Jamal, just because they had that great fight before. But that's remained to be seen. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be Jamal Hill. It's gonna be early, maybe 2nd round.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair prediction. I think for Jamal Hill, maybe 2nd or 3rd round I could see him getting a TKO. Otherwise, I'd lean towards a decision by Glover. Maybe.
Fair.
We can move on to the co-main event.
2 guys who just can't seem to get away from each other. Brandon Moreno and Deiveson Figuereido, the first what do you call it, quadrology in UFC history.
I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, I saw some today too. The last time Deiveson Figuereido fought someone that wasn't named Brandon Moreno, he was 32, and now he's 35.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys if there's one thing I could promise you, that this first round, it's not gonna be a slow feeling each other out experience. These guys know exactly what each other are gonna do, and it's just gonna be about who could implement their game plan better. If I remember last time correctly, Davison Figuereido won off a great leg kicks, and that kind of kept Brandon Moreno at bay. So we'll see if Brandon Moreno gonna check those leg kicks. If Figue's gonna try something different in his hometown. Because I believe the first one was in the Apex and the other two was a more Moreno heavy crowd. So this will really be Davison Figuereido the home advantage this time. And we'll see how it plays out. How are you thinking this will go out?
I honestly think this is one of those fights that are genuinely 50-50. Could go either way. If you look at the live odds, it's minus 110 for both fighters. It talks about Davison Figuereido finishing with the leg kicks. But like if we look at Brandon Moreno's last fight against Kaikara France, he finished him with a liver kick. And I think that was something that's interesting. Like we start seeing it a little bit more common the last few years, but Davison isn't the only one that has some power in those kicks. So a prediction for this fight, I would lead. I'm leaning more towards Figuereido for this fight, honestly.
I am as well. The only thing that concerns me though is Figuereido has a track of dodgy weight cuts.
Yes.
I believe not today, but earlier in the week I saw him. He was looking pretty cut down, and I think they said he had like another 9 pounds or something to lose, and he's basically a bag of bones at that point. So I don't know how he's gonna or where he's gonna get those other 9 pounds to go from. And I know he's one of those Brazilian guys who do the traditional weight cuts the hard way. So that's the only thing that concerns me. Once Figuereido has a good weight cut, I don't know if Henry Cejudo is still in his corner. I would assume so. But if Henry's there, I think he'll take good care of him and make sure he has a good weight cut. But that's the only thing that concerns me with Figuereido.
Speaking of Henry Cejudo, I'm not sure if he's involved in this fight camp for him because I've seen him training with John Jones.
Yeah.
So I'm really not sure about that, about Henry helping him with the weight cut, but that was a good point. You never know on fight night if Figuereido could be a little bit too drained, he might not perform the way he wants to, but with a Brazil crowd behind him, I think it's really on him to perform on this night especially. So I'd lean more towards him, and we're hoping that, we'd hope he could handle that pressure, being in his hometown, fighting for a title for the 4th time, same opponents,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because Figgy's this rivalry, he's kind of been the villain. I think that's fair to say. So we're gonna see how he's gonna be, being receptive to the home crowd, having a crowd cheer for him. And we're also gonna see how Brandon Moreno handles being the villain in this case, because like I said, he's the nice Lego guy. Everybody loves him, and he's always a fan favorite. So we're gonna see the roles reversed, and we're gonna see how they cope with being. I think it might be more difficult for Brandon Moreno because it's not easy. I can imagine it's not easy walking out to a packed stadium full of tens of thousands of fans just booing you. I can imagine that's not gonna be easy, but we'll see how he handles it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how he handles the pressure as well, and I guess we'll see what happens. Like I said at the beginning, this is one of those fights that it's basically a coin flip, So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Let's just hope it doesn't end another draw, because I don't want to see these guys.
I mean, it's fine. That was a little bit too much now.
Yeah, so let's just hope one of the guys win. Don't care who.
Decisively.
Yeah. No close razor thin decision kind of thing. Just somebody go and make a statement out there. But yeah, so quick fight prediction before we move on to the last fight we're going to discuss. I say Figuereido decision.
Yeah, Figuereido decision as well. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Alright, nice. And while we move on to the third fight, Gilbert Burns looking to bounce back after a fight of the year contender against Hamza Chimaev, and he's taking on Neil Magny, who, if I am remembering correctly, he has the most wins in the UFC welterweight division. So a real veteran in Neil Magny coming up against a guy in Gilbert Burns who's looking to start another title challenge. So how you see this one going out?
I'm leaning towards Gilbert Burns with this fight, to be honest with you. I think his striking has improved a lot, as you saw with the Chimaev fight. The way he manages his gas tank, even though this is a 15 minutes fight, you saw that so well in the last fight compared to Hamza.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually scored that fight for Burns. So I don't think his momentum really was affected by the loss. But I think I'm leaning towards Gilbert Burns with a finish for this fight. And just to throw with our stats, Magny actually lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov, and then he bounced back with a win against Daniel Rodriguez late last year, November last year. So we'll see how he matched up against Gilbert Burns, and regardless, I'm still going with Burns with this fight. Honestly, I think it's going to be like a knockout for Burns. Honestly, I think he needs to make that statement that he's still at the top of the welterweight division. He's still a contender. He can still fight for that title. So I think he's gonna go out there and look to make a statement, especially in front of his home crowd.
Yeah,
so
you talked about how great his striking was. I don't mean to kind of just pile on the pressure onto Neil Magny, but you also forget that he is a black belt world champion jiu-jitsu fighter as well. And I think
yes.
I don't think he'll be a knockout, but I think he'll get a submission done. Maybe in the second round. I could also see it happen in the first round as well. But I think he's one of those guys that the Brazilian crowd absolutely love, and he'll be a fan favorite there, especially in Brazil. And I think he would want to show off his submission skills, which you all know he has a lot of. So yeah, I'll probably say a submission win for Burns.
Yeah, I think that's a fair prediction as well. And I'm just going through Neil Magny's record, and he's somewhat consistent, but also somewhat inconsistent. In terms of his wins, he actually beat Li Jingliang in 2020. He had 3 fights in 2020 that he won. He won one in 2021, and then he lost one and won one in 22. So it's like he's somewhat inconsistent with his fights, but
it's a weird matchup because I think I view Magny as more like a gatekeeper to top 10. So it's really a weird fight for this to happen. But yeah, I think Burns is just levels above him, and that'll be seen come Saturday night.
Yeah, I agree with that. Burns is definitely top 5, maybe top 3 welterweights. It's just the decision didn't go his way in his last fight, but yeah, I think it's going to be a fairly easy win for Burns. And I'm not disparaging trying to disparage Neil Magny's track record or his fights or anything, but you look at the body of work that Burns has compared to him. I think Gilbert Burns has the advantage of this one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, well, I think we can wrap it up there. Yeah, guys, hope you guys look forward to the pay-per-view this Saturday night. We'll be there. Might have a post-fight video. Who knows? Due to our upload schedule, it's been spotty at best. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys for watching as always. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's been your boy Shivs and Rajiv. Later.
Yeah, later.